Hello and welcome, my dear friend. I believe this message has found its way into your life at the exact moment that heaven has allowed it to. You may not even realize it yet, but there's a reason why you're here reading or listening to these words today. It's not by accident or chance. You're about to gain a deeper understanding of something that's been quietly shifting within you, something you've been feeling, even if you couldn't fully grasp it. If you've been experiencing pressure around your job, your income, or the direction your career is heading, this message is exactly what you need to hear. This is not just some ordinary advice. It's a spiritual awakening meant specifically for you. It's time to stop doubting the unrest you've been feeling in your spirit, the sense that something just isn't right, even when everything on the surface seems perfectly fine. That nagging discomfort, the constant thought that there's more out there for you, that there's something else calling you. This isn't just anxiety or an overactive mind. This is a divine prompting. Heaven has been quietly observing your life and your job in particular for a while now. And if you're feeling the weight of it all, you're not imagining it. The pressures you're facing are not random. They're part of a much greater plan unfolding, one that's designed to move you forward, elevate you, and transform your life in ways you can't yet see. Have you ever experienced that feeling of restlessness before you clock in at work? You know, the one when your chest tightens and you can't quite put your finger on what's wrong, even though everything seems fine when you look at your job on paper. Maybe you've had those late night thoughts about quitting or shifting your life, but found yourself convincing yourself to stay, to keep pushing, even when your spirit is crying out for more. Maybe you've been drained, overwhelmed, and feeling a disconnect from the work you've been doing. You might have convinced yourself that this is just burnout or laziness, but let me tell you right now, it's neither. What you're going through is far bigger than those things. This is divine interference. It's heaven's way of getting your attention, of guiding you out of the place you've outgrown and into something greater. What you're feeling is not a punishment, nor is it a sign that you're doing something wrong. In fact, it's the exact opposite. God has been watching how you carry yourself even in environments that no longer feed you or fulfill your true potential. You've been giving your best in a place that barely recognizes your value. You've shown up with integrity even when the circumstances have been less than ideal. You've quietly carried the weight of responsibility, solving problems behind the scenes without the recognition you truly deserve. And yet, despite all that, you've continued to show up working hard, doing your best, even when you've whispered in your car, "Why am I still here?" This is the moment when heaven is answering you. The feeling of being stuck, of not being able to move forward, isn't because you're ungrateful or lazy. It's because your spirit has outgrown your current environment, and God is using this pressure to move you. It's not a coincidence that your patience has grown thin, that the smallest frustrations at work seem to irritate you more than before. Your soul is telling you something you may not have fully understood yet. There's more for you. You were never meant to stay in a place that keeps your spirit small. You were made for greater things, and the work you've been doing is about to be recognized, not just by those around you, but by the divine power that's been watching over you this whole time. If this message resonates with you right now, take a moment to pause and reflect. Give this video a like. Share it with someone who might be feeling the same pressure, the same call to something bigger. Your small act of engagement helps spread this message of hope to others who need to hear it. In doing so, you're helping these words reach those who are also chosen, those whose hearts are restless and searching for the same clarity. Now let's dive deeper into why this moment is so significant for you. The reason why you felt the weight and discomfort in your work is because God has been reviewing your situation, not because you're failing, but because of the excellence with which you've been working. Your honesty, your effort, your discipline, these things have caught the attention of heaven. The truth is, you've been operating with an excellence that hasn't been acknowledged. Your consistency, Your commitment, your ability to persevere in a system that doesn't appreciate what you bring to the table has not gone unnoticed. And now heaven is about to step in. The shift you're feeling is not just about your job, it's about your purpose, your destiny, and your divine calling. What you've been experiencing at work is not just the typical struggle that comes with any job, it's the result of spiritual misalignment. And God is allowing things to get uncomfortable because He's getting ready to move you into a space that is in alignment with the person you've become. Your job has been a platform where God has been testing, shaping, and preparing you for what's to come. You may not realize it, but the pressure you felt is God's way of stretching you, preparing you for a new phase in your life. Your calling is expanding, and as it does, your current environment is becoming too small to hold the greatness that is unfolding within you. Take a moment to reflect on what's been happening in your spirit. If this message is speaking to you, I encourage you to share it. You never know who else may need to hear this exact message of hope and transformation. You may not see it now, but this pressure, this discomfort is the beginning of something new. God is shifting your job, your career, and ultimately your life. It's all happening for a reason, and the purpose behind this divine disturbance is far greater than you can imagine. Stay with me, and let's explore how your elevation is already in motion. It's natural to think of change as something that comes with emotional upheaval or personal turmoil. Most of us tend to believe that when things in our life need to shift, whether it's our relationships, emotions, or life direction, that it will all begin with a feeling, an event, or even a conversation that shakes us to the core. However, God's way of working often goes beyond the emotional realm. When He wants to move us, when He desires to elevate us and shift the direction of our lives, He doesn't always start with the things we expect. More often than not, He begins with the area of our lives that holds the most weight in shaping our daily reality, our work. For many of us, work is where we spend most of our waking hours. It's where we pour our energy, our passion, and our time. It's the place where we either find fulfillment or feel trapped by the walls that limit us. Work shapes our identity, defines our success, and often governs our sense of purpose. So when God wants to move us, when He wants to shift us into something bigger, He often starts with our jobs, because our work is the platform upon which much of our life unfolds. This may sound unconventional, but if you've been feeling a pull, an unsettling sense of discomfort that refuses to leave you, it's because God has been bringing a spiritual spotlight upon your job for a reason. You may not even realize it yet, but heaven has had its eyes on your work for quite some time. Perhaps you felt a sense of restlessness, an inexplicable tightness in your chest when you step into your workplace. Maybe you've had this nagging feeling that something is wrong, but nothing on the surface seems to indicate it. You've tried to convince yourself that everything is fine, that things are okay, but deep down you can't shake the feeling that something is missing. This is not just a passing phase. This restlessness, this inner turmoil isn't a coincidence. It's the work of divine interference. Restlessness at work, dissatisfaction in your tasks, frustration with the lack of recognition. These are signs that your spirit is no longer aligned with your environment. When you find yourself in a place where the energy feels off, where every day seems to stretch longer than the last, or when you feel disconnected from the work you used to love, these feelings are not just signs of burnout or dissatisfaction. They are the symptoms of a much deeper spiritual shift that is taking place within you. Heaven is intervening to push you out of a place that no longer serves you and into a greater calling. This divine shift isn't about a sudden outburst of emotion or a breakdown. It's about God's quiet way of shifting the foundation beneath your feet gently but firmly until you can no longer ignore the signs that it's time to move forward. You may have felt the pressure for weeks, months, or even years, but it's only now that you're becoming aware of it. The pressure you've been feeling at work, the increasing dissatisfaction, the frustration that feels misplaced, It's all part of a larger, divinely orchestrated plan. Heaven is about to open your eyes to something greater, and in order for you to see it, you must first be unsettled where you are. This is not about making you uncomfortable for the sake of discomfort, but about preparing you for a move that will elevate you to new heights. What you may not have realized is that your efforts, your integrity, your dedication have been carefully observed by God. You've been working in an environment that has not recognized your worth. You've carried the weight of responsibilities that should have been shared by others. You've solved problems that others were either too busy or too complacent to address, and you've maintained your integrity even when no one seemed to notice or care. Heaven has been watching. God has been observing every moment when you thought no one was paying attention. He's seen the quiet frustration that you've hidden behind your smile, the late nights you've spent working, the sacrifices you've made that no one else even knew about. He has been noting every ounce of effort you've put into a place that hasn't rewarded or appreciated you. And here's the truth: your efforts have not been wasted. The world may not have recognized the excellence you've brought to your work, but God has. The discipline you've shown in doing your best, even when it seemed like no one cared, has not gone unnoticed. The patience you've exercised while waiting for something to change, the diligence you've maintained, even when you didn't feel seen, it all matters. Your work, your dedication, your integrity, everything you've put into your job has been reviewed by heaven, and it has been found worthy. In fact, it's because of your commitment to excellence, despite the lack of recognition, that God is about to move you into something greater. If you've ever found yourself thinking, "Why am I still here?" or "Is this all there is for me?" know that you are not alone in that feeling. These thoughts aren't signs that you're ungrateful or lazy. They are signs that you've outgrown your current environment. God has been watching the way you've carried yourself, even in spaces that no longer feed your soul, and He's about to take you out of that place. The spiritual spotlight on your job has been shining for weeks, preparing you for a shift. And though you may not fully understand it now, this divine review is setting you up for the next chapter of your life, a chapter that aligns with your true calling. As you continue to feel this growing dissatisfaction, understand that it's not a random occurrence. This dissatisfaction is the result of a spiritual misalignment between who you are now and the job you've been doing. Your soul, your purpose, and your calling are beginning to pull away from the work that once felt fulfilling. It's as though you've been operating in a role that no longer fits your expanding potential. The frustration you've been feeling is your soul's way of telling you that it's time for a realignment that will push you out of the place that holds you back and into something greater. This is the moment when you must embrace the fact that your dissatisfaction is not a negative force. It's a divine signal. You are in the process of being realigned. The perspective you have of your job is shifting because something larger is unfolding. The conversations about you, the doors that have been quietly opening in the background, and the opportunities that are being prepared for you. These things are all part of God's plan to position you for breakthrough. You may not see it yet, but heaven is moving the pieces around in the unseen world, and your role in the next chapter is already being written. Your growing dissatisfaction is part of the process. It is not something to fear or resist. In fact, it's something to welcome because it is the evidence of a new season unfolding before you. God is orchestrating a shift in your life, one that will not only change your job, but will also change you. You're being prepared for something greater, something that will stretch you beyond your current limitations and bring you into alignment with your true purpose. As you feel the pressure at work mount and the tension within your spirit grow, know that it's not a sign to give up or quit. It's a sign to press forward and embrace the change that's coming. This shift is not just about your job, it's about your entire life. God is preparing you for elevation, for a breakthrough, for a transformation that will expand your calling and align you with the opportunities that have been waiting for you. So if you're feeling the weight, the pressure, and the restlessness, take heart. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Heaven is at work behind the scenes, moving things in your favor, even if you can't see it yet. Trust the process. Stay faithful to your work and know that your efforts are being recognized. You are on the cusp of something incredible, and this divine shift is the beginning of your next chapter. As you continue to feel the pressure and restlessness building within you, it's important to understand that this divine disturbance is not a random act. What you are experiencing is not a sign of things falling apart, but rather the beginning of a process of elevation, a spiritual awakening that is guiding you towards something far greater than what you've known so far. The feeling of discomfort at work, the dissatisfaction that refuses to leave your spirit, and the sense that you are outgrowing your environment are all signs of a much bigger picture unfolding before you. This moment is not about just shifting your job, it's about expanding and elevating your entire life. God's plan for you is one of expansion and elevation. If you've been feeling like something more is waiting for you, that there's more to your life's purpose than what you're currently experiencing, that's because it's true. The spiritual growth you've been undergoing has brought you to a place where your current environment can no longer contain the fullness of your potential. The job that once fit you perfectly has started to feel restrictive, uncomfortable, and inadequate because your calling has outgrown the space that it once occupied. This isn't something that happens overnight. The process of growth, the spiritual maturing that has been taking place within you, has been building up to this very moment. You may not have realized it before, but your soul has been slowly evolving, preparing itself for greater things. Your journey has brought you to the realization that the work you've been doing, the environment you've been in, no longer matches the person you're becoming. And the discomfort you're feeling, that's the indicator that you are entering a new phase of your life, a phase where God is preparing to open new doors for you. The pressure you feel is not an obstacle, it's an invitation. It's a divine push to move you out of the place that has kept you confined and into a space that will recognize your worth, your potential, and your calling. The discomfort you've been enduring is the catalyst for change, a sign that your higher purpose is now demanding attention. It is as if the very fabric of your spirit is pushing against the limits of your current situation, urging you to step into something greater. This pressure is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you, to move you, and to elevate you. The transformation that is unfolding in your life is not a fleeting emotional reaction. It's a structural shift. The changes that are happening are not based on a momentary burst of excitement or temporary motivation. No, this is a deep foundational shift that is happening within you and around you. Your environment may feel unfamiliar, even hostile at times, but that's because the ground you stand on is being prepared to support the next chapter of your life. And when this shift is complete, when the realignment of your spirit and your environment fully takes place, you will find that your life begins to fall into place in a way you never imagined possible. God's plan for you is not limited to just small adjustments. It is a grand design that will affect every area of your life. This shift is structural in nature, which means that it will change the way you look at your work, your finances, your relationships, and even your identity. As you align yourself with your true calling, breakthroughs will begin to manifest in ways you couldn't have predicted. Financial shifts, career-related breakthroughs, and opportunities that once seemed impossible will begin to present themselves as the result of this divine alignment. It's important to recognize that your shift will not go unnoticed. Even if those around you are unaware of the transformation taking place within you, your change will be visible. Your presence will carry a new weight, a new authority. People will begin to see you differently, not because you've changed externally, but because your energy, your focus, and your purpose have shifted. You will no longer be the same person who walked into your job months or years ago. You will have stepped into a new version of yourself, one that is aligned with a higher calling, one that has learned the lessons it needed to learn in its previous season and is now ready for the next phase. Your elevation won't require an announcement. It won't need to be broadcasted. It will speak for itself. There will be a clarity and a confidence in your presence that others cannot ignore. It's as though the very atmosphere around you will shift and people will take notice without you saying a word. Your ideas will become sharper. Your work will take on a new level of excellence, and your influence will begin to grow in ways you may not have expected. This isn't just about getting a promotion or moving to a new job. It's about stepping into a new identity that can no longer fit into the small roles you've been playing. Your work will no longer feel like a burden or a place to merely survive. It will become the platform through which your purpose is fully expressed, and through that the world will begin to recognize the value that you bring. As you step into this new season, you will find that God's work in your life is focused on positioning you for more fulfilling and recognized work. No longer will you be in a role that drains you, that requires more from you than it gives back. The work you're about to do will honor your gifts and recognize your value. It will be the kind of work that not only sustains you financially, but also nourishes you spiritually and emotionally. You will find yourself in environments where your contributions are not just accepted, but celebrated. This is the kind of work that aligns with your true calling, the kind that gives you a sense of purpose and fulfillment. This transition is also about the transformation of your identity. You are evolving, whether you realize it or not, into someone who can no longer fit into the small roles you once played. Your capacity has expanded. Your vision has become clearer. You have outgrown the limitations of your old identity, and God is preparing you for something much bigger. The person you've become cannot fit into the old molds of the past. Your new identity is not bound by your old circumstances. It is not defined by the limitations others may have placed on you. It is an identity that is free, expansive, and aligned with your higher purpose. This transformation is not just about the external changes like a new job or promotion. It is about the internal transformation that is taking place within you. Your confidence is growing, your sense of self-worth is being solidified, and your understanding of your unique gifts and abilities is becoming clearer by the day. You are stepping into a version of yourself that is fully expressed, that is not afraid to take up space, and that is ready to contribute to the world in a way that is both meaningful and impactful. This is the identity that will open doors, create opportunities, and attract the recognition you've long deserved. As this shift unfolds, you will notice that new opportunities will begin to appear in your life. These opportunities will be in alignment with your true worth, your presence, and your value. You will begin to see doors opening that you never thought possible, doors that lead you to new levels of success, fulfillment, and impact. These opportunities will not be random. They will be divinely orchestrated to align with your calling and your purpose. They will feel right, and you will know that you have arrived exactly where you were meant to be. These opportunities may not look like the ones you've dreamed of, and they may not come in the form you expected, but they will be perfect for you. They will allow you to fully express the person you've become, the gifts you've developed, and the wisdom you've acquired through your journey. God is not just preparing a job for you. He is preparing a platform for your purpose to be fully realized. As you continue to move forward in this transition, remember that the shift you're experiencing is not just about your external circumstances. It's about the transformation happening within you. You are stepping into a new version of yourself, one that is capable of far more than you ever thought possible. And as you step into this new season, know that God has already gone before you, preparing the way and opening doors that will lead you to the life you were always meant to live. Trust the process, trust the shift. It's happening for you, and everything that is coming is aligned with your highest good. The next chapter of your life is already unfolding. Keep moving forward, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. Your elevation is imminent, and the opportunities that await you will reflect the true worth and potential that God has placed inside of you. The work you are about to do will be a reflection of the person you are becoming: strong, confident, capable, and fully aligned with your divine purpose. As you stand at the threshold of this transformative moment in your life, I want you to take a deep breath and reflect on what you've just heard. You've been through a lot, my friend. You've carried burdens that felt heavier than you thought you could bear, and yet here you are. If you felt the weight of your struggles, know this: heaven has seen every moment of your quiet endurance. Every time you pushed through when you felt like giving up, every time you gave more than you received, every time you worked with integrity, even when it seemed like no one was watching, none of it was in vain. In fact, each of those moments was part of a divine process, a preparation that has been building you for what's to come. You may not have realized it at the time, but each day of struggle, every ounce of effort, and every time you held on when everything inside you told you to let go, was shaping you for this next phase. It wasn't punishment, it was purpose. It wasn't random, it was preparation. Every moment you thought was wasted, every bit of frustration you carried quietly was being used to refine you, to build you, and to make you ready for the breakthrough that is just around the corner. The endurance you've shown has been the foundation upon which your elevation is being built. You may have felt alone in your efforts, but rest assured God was always with you, using each trial to prepare you for what is now unfolding. So let me remind you, as you look ahead and feel the stirrings of change, your struggle was never in vain. It was all part of the process that has been leading you here. The trials, the setbacks, the moments of doubt, they have all served a higher purpose. It's easy to look back and wonder why you had to go through what you did, but I want you to see it differently. Each challenge was building your strength. Every time you felt like your patience was running thin, it was expanding your capacity to handle the blessings that are coming your way. It was sharpening your resolve, deepening your clarity, and preparing you to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. As you stand on the edge of this shift, know that what's coming is not a coincidence. It's the manifestation of all the growth that has been taking place inside of you. Your spirit, your heart, and your soul have been quietly aligning with your true purpose. This process has been leading you to a moment when everything will finally come together: your work, your worth, your calling, and your mission in this world. The breakthrough you've been waiting for will not just be a change in your job or finances. It will be a profound realignment of your entire life. The work you do will no longer feel like a burden. It will feel like a fulfillment of your divine purpose. Your gifts will be recognized, your contributions will be valued, and you will begin to experience the harmony that comes from being in perfect alignment with your calling. The shift you've been feeling, the discomfort and the frustration, were never meant to break you. They were meant to build you. The divine pressure you've been experiencing is the result of something bigger unfolding. You may have questioned yourself along the way, wondering if you were on the right path or if you were doing enough. But now, as you move into this new chapter, you will see that everything was moving in perfect timing. The process you've been going through has been about growth, not just in your circumstances, but in your very identity. The person you were before, the person who had to endure and persevere through challenging circumstances, is not the person you will be when this shift fully manifests. You are becoming someone new, someone capable of taking on the new opportunities and responsibilities that are coming your way. The upcoming breakthrough will align your work with your true worth. It's not just about your financial elevation or the title you hold. It's about you finally stepping into the version of yourself that has always been waiting for this moment. Your value, your gifts, and your presence are about to be fully recognized. What was once overlooked will now be seen. The work that has felt like a struggle will soon flow with ease because it will align with your purpose and calling. And when that shift happens, you'll realize that everything you've been through, the struggles, the frustrations, the doubts, was necessary for you to become the person you are now. You are now ready for what's coming. You are prepared for the opportunities, the recognition, and the blessings that are about to unfold in your life. As you prepare to step into this new season, I encourage you to take some time to connect with a quieter space. If you need a moment of reflection, meditation, or simply stillness, I invite you to visit my second channel, Simplified Serenity. It's filled with worship instrumentals designed to help you enter into a place of peace and connection with God. In the midst of all the excitement and change that's coming, it's important to remember to pause and reflect. This is a time to ground yourself, to listen to what God is saying to you in this moment, and to allow His peace to wash over you as you prepare for the incredible shift ahead. Before you go, let me offer this final blessing. You are walking into a season of elevation, a season of greater alignment with your purpose. Your work, your identity, and your worth are being realigned to match your calling. Know that everything you've been through was not in vain. Heaven has been using every moment of your journey to prepare you for this breakthrough, and now you are ready. May peace fill your heart as you step forward, knowing that you are divinely positioned for the life you've always been meant to live. As you move into this new chapter, I encourage you to share this message with anyone who might need to hear it. If this has spoken to your spirit, comment below and let me know how this resonates with your journey. And don't forget to share this with someone who may be experiencing the same feelings of restlessness and uncertainty. You never know how your act of kindness could help someone else take that next step toward their own breakthrough. Stay encouraged, stay faithful, and remember, you are being elevated for a purpose. Your time has come.